All right. Welcome back to the Midnight Mission podcast. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Yeah, we're kind of trying a temporary setup today.
Because you know why?
Why?
We got to reset the timeline.
I hate you. Today we're going to talk about the Flash movie.
Yeah.
All right. What are your initial thoughts? Give just from the jump.
From the get-go. I liked it.
Oh, wait. Spoiler.
If you haven't seen it, you're not missing out.
You might want to hold it closer to your...
But, yeah. Spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about what this means for the future of DC's cinematic universe and what the movie entails.
Mm-hmm.
Flash movie. Off the get-go, I love the narrative. I love the story. I like how it was very similar to what it's based off. Like Flashpoint.
Like his comic book counterpart.
It's very...
You think it stayed faithful to...
They stayed very faithful with it. And I know, like, dig against Marvel, but sometimes Marvel obviously does take, like, a different approach to it. Like, they're inspired by it, but they take a whole different approach from it.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. They're inspired by it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't take it off the page into the movie.
Like, they don't take it literal. They don't just, take the comic book and write the script based on that. But even still, this one was very true to its counterpart. Like, the way Flash's narrative is given off. Because this is the first standalone Flash movie. So it served as a purpose to introduce Barry Allen to the audience, what he's dealing with. Because
his backstory,
what he does, why he does what he does, and what goes on. Narrative-wise, it was amazing. All the different things we saw. Back to one of the biggest critiques or failures of it is obviously the CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they used too much of it.
I don't... Go ahead. I'll let you finish your thought.
It wasn't... Obviously, when you make a superhero movie, you can either do, like, full CGI effects or also have, like,
some practical stuff.
Practical actors, It seemed very CGI-based. And I thought that was kind of strange with how the fighting style is, it feels like there shouldn't really be a lot of CGI, right? Like, Flash doesn't really do martial arts, right? Like, he just runs in place. They really could just record that. Instead, they had to do this whole elaborate CGI. I don't know what to call it, but trash. Like, I like the Flash because I really like the comic books of Flash. I really like Barry Allen's whole his narrative, his story. So it was kind of weird to see how he flowed, how he moved around. It looks so like clay.
You mean the CGI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made, and what I didn't really like about the movie is the way how he starts running.
Yeah, but I've always had a problem with the way he runs.
Well, not the way he runs, but the way he started, how he does the little pose.
Oh,
the initial pose in the beginning.
Wasting so much time.
I never understood the reason for that.
Just take off.
Yeah, because that's what he does.
It's like he's charging up almost before he can take off.
It's like a Sonic, like when you charge up your.
Because I know in the animated series, he would just go.
He would just be like,
there was no.
Where do we gotta go?
He'd go like from a standing position, go on and back. So I get that. Yeah, that was very weird. He had to do it like almost every single time. But no, he only had to do it during specific times. Because if you notice, when he was in his apartment and he had to clean, he didn't do that pose. He just took off.
Yeah, I think because he realized, oh wait, because Iris shows up. That was cool.
You know what I always thought? What I thought was also kind of weird.
What?
And I don't know if it's because of the suit, but the suit doesn't give him the suit doesn't alter his powers in any way, right? It just helps him with the friction and all that stuff. Okay, so why is it when he doesn't have the suit, the lightning effects are blue, but then when he has the suit on, they're yellow? I know that's more comic book accurate, but I guess I would like an explanation as to why.
So from what I remember from like this, because also they did the same thing in the Justice League when they introduced Flash. A lot of people's critique was, why is it blue? Why is his lightning blue?
But even in the suit that he made in the Justice League, it was blue still.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he started as blue, and until like he got this newer, updated suit, it started changing to gold. But even like you said, like
why
he doesn't have his. It looks like they were trying to play off like the Speed Force was actually lightning.
It's still not an explanation. I mean, I know you don't have the answer, but for me, it was kind of like,
They never dug
jarring.
into
I was like, why is it blue when he doesn't have the suit on, but when he has the suit on, it's blue? I mean, it's yellow, but the suit doesn't amplify his power in any way. It's just, at least the way he explained it, just helps with the friction.
Because that's what his suit is. His suit is just, it's like from comic book. It's like it's friction proof, and it's like it can be compressed down to a molecular structure.
Yeah,
because that's how he keeps it in his ring.
I know that's a minor thing.
By the way, the ring is really nice. I really do like the ring.
Yeah.
How they, so traditionally the ring is circular, and the top just pops open like a latch, and then the suit springs out. This one they kind of went with the same approach, except that the lightning bolt opens up in the center to reveal the suit.
Right, and it splits.
Yeah.
Instead of a latch, it kind of like they slide open.
I think
Which I thought it was pretty cool.
Really
I like
nice,
the way
modern.
it looked.
Yeah, it was nice enough that I bought it.
I enjoyed the film. It was entertaining.
It was entertaining, yeah.
But there were certain things of it that took me out. So the story, I didn't have a problem with. I do think that, especially with the stuff with his mom, hit specific emotional beats. Because it had me like, oh, yeah, I need to call my mom and tell her I love her.
No, same, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I think it did what it needed to do there. But in terms of the visuals, it really took me out. I had high hopes. I'm not even going to touch on Michael Keaton in the movie, because I feel like if I take Michael Keaton's character out, I don't think I would have liked it as much.
Really?
I don't think so.
What about Supergirl?
She was in there for a very short period of time. And then how it ended with her and Michael Keaton was very disappointing to me. One of the things I asked you when we left the movie theater, I was like, if 89 Michael Keaton is not canon, and it's not part of the DCEU or the new DCU proper, so what happens to him in this film is that the future of the 89 Batman in his universe. That really bummed me out, because Keaton's Batman is one of my favorite, if not my favorite Batman, right? So if it's the future of his universe for, again, spoiler alert, for Zod to come to Earth and kill everyone and terraform Earth and make it a new Krypton, and he dies, that's a bummer ending for that character. And even for Supergirl, because though I like the character and I thought it was cool what they did with her, she also dies.
Yeah, they repeat it.
Repeatedly.
Repeatedly.
So that kind of threw me for a loop, and I was like, oh, I don't like that. But again, back to the visuals.
But to talk about that real quick, technically that timeline shouldn't exist. That timeline only exists is because Barry changed it.
Ah, I see.
So, for example, Flashpoint in the comics, same thing happens. Batman actually does die in, comic spoilers. He does die, which is actually Thomas Wayne. They pulled a reverse where in Crime Alley, Bruce was killed, and then Thomas becomes Batman, and then Martha Wayne becomes the Joker. She goes insane. He does end up dying at the end.
This is why I hate time travel. It confuses the hell out of me. And
well, technically, it wasn't supposed to, like you said with the Michael Keaton Batman. It wasn't, Zod was never supposed to appear in that timeline. It was never meant to happen. But because when Barry went back to change, saving his mom's fate, he created a new timeline. And the timeline's influenced by him because those are his experiences.
Time travel, man. I don't want any more time travel movies. This multiverse crap and all. Like, the multiverse stuff, cool. I'm okay with it. But when you include the multiverse and time travel, that just, like, it
changes a lot of things. Because now, obviously, we see in the movie that I thought that was weird. One thing that really bugged me was how he learned how to, or not how he learned, but how he transitioned running into the Speed Force. Like, he gets it on the first try.
How is it in the comic books?
So also in the Justice League one, we see him sort of talking about it.
Well, he does do it.
He does do it, but
he rewinds time.
He rewinds time, but he's in that motion. He's like, Barry, you got to keep running, Barry.
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep running. You can't.
So technically, he's done it before.
Yes, but like, well, in the comics, Barry Allen's mom's death is a canon event. Like, it has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a canon event. So when you change her, it changes everything.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad you got it because I was looking at it and I was like,
yeah,
wait, it's really close.
But
I mean, overall, like, I'm not gonna say don't go watch this movie. Go watch it because it's
go watch with your mom.
And removing the person Ezra Miller from everything that's happened, I will give him credit for because he has acting chops. And I feel like
he did such a good job.
He did such a good job with this stuff with his mom and like
the emotional connection. Like I felt it.
Yeah,
apart from he's a terrible person.
Yeah.
But when he was the ending scene when he's talking spoilers when he's talking with his mom, that got to me.
In the store when he goes back and that one. That's the part that's the part that had me like I need to tell my mom I love her.
I was about to dead ass cry
Which
there.
I do? I don't remember.
Ooh.
But yeah, like so like all of those things emotionally and like it was a lot of it story wise it was good. It was just the visuals that really took me out of it. I think the visuals like what did I compare to? So let's talk about Civil War.
Yeah.
Captain America Civil War. That airport scene.
Yeah.
If no one had told me that was a green screen, I would have known. I would have thought, did they like really close down an airport to film that scene? Granted, this was a couple of years back.
Yeah.
Right? And for its time, it was pretty solid. It was good. So that's like one of my biggest issues with DC movies. And I feel like I've mentioned this before when we talked about Black Adam.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed Black Adam. It wasn't like, wow, the best movie, but I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. But the visuals to DC movies or DCEU movies have always bugged me. So I'm hoping that moving forward with this new DCU, they work on the CGI because it does need a lot. I hate that rubbery kind of like Play-Doh looking type thing. You know what Marvel movie had that? A couple of them, but the first Black Panther, when T'Challa and Eric Killmonger were fighting.
Oh,
in the mountain,
in the mines.
Yeah. It kind of had that look to it a little bit, but it wasn't as bad.
But see,
it wasn't as bad.
You know what they did that Flash didn't do that? I'm surprised. They didn't during that fight scene. It's very blurry due to the fighting. You know, they're fighting in the middle, so they're doing the vibrations. They're being hit by like disruptor waves and everything.
Oh right.
And I felt like that helped.
I get you, but Doctor Strange.
But Doctor Strange didn't have any like.
Doctor Strange had a whole rack of CGI at the beginning when he was fighting the big eyeball.
Yeah.
When he he was at the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I saw it there. Like Marvel, the last couple of years, their CGI has not been all that great, but not as bad as the Flash and DC. Like it really okay. So there were some scenes where like they did really good.
Yeah. Where
they have both Barrys. Like when you first see both Barrys together at the same time. I don't think that was CGI. I think it was 2 takes.
Yeah.
I think Ezra Miller played one. They paused. They had a stand-in character, kind of like how they did Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Right? They had, Oscar Isaac had his brother stand in for him, and then they did another take and they swapped roles. So I think that's what they did for that scene in particular. But there's other scenes where you can tell where it wasn't Ezra Miller and it was a CGI Ezra Miller over another person's face. And I'm like, why did you guys go that route? And then remember, keep in mind that this movie was delayed. So they could have gone back and fixed all of that and made it better, and they didn't. Now, I get people... I was really hyped for this movie. I had high hopes for this movie for multiple reasons. Mainly, I'm not going to shy away from it. Michael Keaton, 89 Batman coming back. I thought that was fire. I thought that was dope. His Batwing in this movie was insane. I thought it was so dope. It reminded me of Boba Fett's Slave One.
Oh, how
because in Mando they kind of show how it like rotates, but the cockpit stays
really nice.
Leveled.
Because it makes sense.
Right. So I thought that was really cool how they did that. So now I have to get that McFarlane
The Batwing.
Batwing, and I have to find somewhere to put it.
Hanging on the wall, like going up.
I kind of want to like an action post, but whatever. But anyway, what was I saying?
The that you were hyped for, Michael.
Yes,
Keaton.
I was hyped for it, and a lot of people were like,
He
a lot of people that like kind of saw the movie prior, had early screenings, were hyping it too, and I'm like, after watching it, you know, even people online, like on YouTube, a lot of figure collectors had seen it, and they were like, "Oh, it's really good. It's this and that," and I'm like, "These are my people. I believe them." But after watching it, I'm like, "Did y'all get paid to say this? Is that why y'all got an early screening?" Like, it's a good popcorn flick. You know what I'm saying?
Flash was an amazing movie. It was really good. You should go watch it. Watch it as many times as you want. Not sponsored.
See, now we know you're being sarcastic because it's literally the opposite of what you said in the beginning of the podcast.
No, but
I don't know. I'm not gonna say don't go watch it.
Go. I mean,
like I said, it was entertaining,
movie.
but there were some things that like just took me out.
You know what really annoyed me? The babies in the beginning.
That looks so whack.
It's
like if you're not gonna make the baby look real, just replace the babies with some other thing. Like
they look so the baby. You could tell the babies were fake. Like
the dog looked more real than the babies.
And then the worst part is that they do close-ups, they do zoom-ins to the baby, so it's like you can see it. Like there's
obviously we know they're not gonna have real babies.
Yeah, I'm not saying chuck the baby.
And if they did that on purpose, as to not be like,
I feel like you could record a baby.
Yeah, I get it. Maybe they didn't want people to be like, "Oh, it looked too real." Like
did
that's
they really
been
throw a
insensitive.
baby
Then
out the
don't
window?
use babies and use something else to drive that plot point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Make it adults.
Make it actually people.
Make it actual people falling out. Whatever. You know what I mean? But like,
you know what else really
like it took me out. You know when it really took me out?
What?
As soon as we see Ben Affleck's Batman come out of his Batwing on his bike immediately, when there was a close up of him on the bike, the whole suit on his face just looked fake. It looked too smooth. You know what I mean? There's no texture to
like
it.
Very, very latex.
Yeah, that was jarring. But the bike itself is dope. That was pretty cool.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I want that bike.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna get the Hot Toys version. I already
That
pre-ordered
bike looks
already.
Nice.
It's pre-ordered.
Especially when you started pushing the gadgets on that.
Man, that was dope.
I was just like,
that made me want to get the Justice League Batman. That's why I bought it. That's why I bought it. Because I might put that one on the bike. Because the colors match.
I actually don't mind this bat suit for Ben Affleck.
I like that. People
really
were
like
hating
it.
on
I
it
like
so
the
hard.
blue because it's a classic blue and gray.
Yeah, but people don't like the armor pieces to it.
I like it.
So I'm hoping that with the figure,
you can take it off.
You can remove some of those armor pieces, and it's just like a regular bat suit underneath.
I actually don't mind. I actually do like the armors, like how it's not fully armored.
Yeah, me too. I like it.
I was just like, that's a. I think the only thing I don't remember if Ben Affleck has one, but they kind of like put a high definition butt chin on him.
Oh, his chin?
Yeah,
he does have one, I think.
I know, but it's not like too detailed. Like
I don't know, it was just something about
like
it when he was on the bike. It looked so fake.
It's like a little bit of a close up that we see of him, like a zoom in to his face. You like the first thing that I saw wasn't the cowl,
right? But look, even like you can see the stark difference between the CGI scene and the scene when they're actually on the bridge. And spoiler alert, Wonder Woman shows up and helps save them. Like you can see how I know that was unexpected, but you can see how he looks in the suit, and there's texture to the cowl and to the cape, as opposed to the CGI. It was just like really smooth, and you can see more details in the suit and stuff. Obviously, because he's not in motion, he's standing still, and I'm like, okay, I like how that looks. What do you think of the Flash's suit? I didn't really like it. I know it's pretty comic book accurate, but I've never really been a fan of the Flash.
It's very New 52-ish, which was the reboot they made back in 2013, I want to say. They did a new reboot. It's kind of similar to that with the lines everywhere, or so like they're all connected to the Flash symbol. I was okay with it. You know what I really didn't like? Was that they had glass in the eyes, like he had goggles.
But he only used that at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah, but I didn't.
He never used it again.
I still didn't like it though, because like Flash doesn't have goggles. Like it's just a mask.
I can see that.
And you know what I didn't like? I didn't like how they really played with the whole metabolism thing.
I actually enjoyed that because that makes sense.
It makes sense, but Barry Allen is okay with that. Like he knows, like I guess so. Let me say it like this: Barry Allen isn't a funny guy.
Yeah, I can't comment too much on it because
So
I've heard people say this on some other like figure
Mhm.
live stream,
Mhm.
people that collect figures
Yeah.
and Hot Toys and 1/6 scale figures and stuff, and I've heard some people say it, and I'm like, I think back on the cartoons, and I'm like, actually, it's pretty funny in the cartoons.
Well, that's Wally
Maybe not in the
West.
comic books, but in the cartoons, he was pretty
That's a different Flash, though.
one-liners. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But like,
but that's a
he
different
wasn't
Flash,
as
though.
whiny and as nerdy and as
Yeah,
um.
Ezra
He was
Miller's
really a
Flash
punk, to
was
be honest.
very nerdy. He's like, did you know? Did you know? But the Flash that you're talking about from the animated sense, it's Wally West, which is the second Flash. Well, Barry Allen is more
Oh.
dark, depressing. Well, he's not dark, depressed. He's not brooding. He's not like Batman, where he's brooding. He's like, man, my parents and stuff like that. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
he's very optimistic, surprisingly, because he's trying to find out what happened.
Got you.
But he's not the type. Later on in the series, we see him, but in the beginning, he's not like that. He's like, gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I'll be there in the Flash. Like, I think that's the only thing he says.
I get it.
But I did like this. And the other thing I didn't like, and it's just like me being nitpicky with the comics.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing in the comics that was established is that the Speed Force, when you go into it, like you start running into it when he starts time traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Once you go in there, you get absorbed into it. Like, you cannot get out of it.
Hmm.
I didn't like how they made it such an easy feat. He was just like popping his head back and forth at different points of time.
Right.
Because in the comics, you can't do that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's such a, like, we've seen, like, for example, the first biggest DC event, Infinite Crisis. That's how it ends. Flash beats the Anti-Monitor, which is like Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
The only way they could beat him is by trapping him in a loop into the Speed Force. So he just starts running around him into pure energy. But Flash he dies there because gets stuck. He gets sucked into it.
Mm-hmm.
And from that point on, we were introduced to the second Flash and all that stuff. But it's not and it's also in the comics. It's not a feat that not everybody can do. Like,
Right.
people have tried it. They get stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I thought when they introduced Iris West, I thought they were going to show a scene where he starts running and he gets out, but he arrives or he appears right in front of her.
Because you said something, she said anchor or something.
She's his lightning rod. So what they do is, like, their loved ones become their lightning rod. So if they ever get stuck there, they just attract back to whoever. So I thought that would have been really cool. But like, oh, because Iris West and Barry Allen, they always end up together. That's their future.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, I don't know much about DC.
So yeah, that's the funny thing. So
aside from Batman and
Iris
Superman.
West is a reporter.
Right.
They have a contract actually, and it was very similar to how their introduction was, where she was just like asking him, "Hey, what do you think about your case?" Where she's talking about his dad's case. Like, no, what do you think about it, like, professionally? Like, no, what's not professional? Your opinion. And then she started like almost writing it down. He's like, no comment and everything. They have that. It's similar to what they have where, because they start dating. He's like, well, she actually tells him, as long as I'm dating you, I'll never ask you. I know you work in the police. I'm never gonna ask you for your, like, the inside scoop. Like,
Oh, got it.
Like, that's an Iris West promise. And I thought that was. I mean, I did like the little, like, notions here and there.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, I would say go see it.
Yeah, go see it.
Go see it. At
It's
the $2
entertaining.
theater.
I mean, I'm just kind of nitpicking, to be honest.
You know
That's
what I
some of the
really
things
like?
that threw me off. But
I'm gonna give some good points. You know what I really like? Michael Keaton's Batman's fight scenes.
yo, he was kicking ass. So there are some good points, and there are some things in the movie.
There are good points in the film.
I know some people said they didn't like it at all.
Like, yeah, people are like.
But I'm like, I saw some good.
It was a hit. It was hit or miss, and various parts of the movie. Michael Keaton Batman is his fighting style, or the fighting style that we saw throughout the whole movie, just like Batman Arkham City games.
But you know what? It also reminded me of Ben Affleck's Batman.
Yeah.
In Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
Not as
Not dark, but
because he wasn't killing fools like he was. But obviously he's more mobile in this suit as opposed to the '89 suit, which was just like a rubber jumpsuit, and he could barely turn his neck. I don't think he could turn his neck in this one, but I get it. I did appreciate that, and I thought that was really cool.
Even Supergirl's fighting, like,
it was very. I wasn't too happy with it because, like, I've never really been happy with how Superman
fights.
That was like one of my biggest issues with Black Adam too, right? The way this and just like show up. Like I get it, they're super fast or whatever, but I'm like
superhuman. I mean,
yeah, there's got to be a cooler way to do it.
I get what you mean. But I did like even still her fighting scenes where she's actually like throwing hands were pretty good. When she
because she was whooping. I felt like she was whooping Zod, and like it had me
even
fooled.
before that when she was fighting in the prison when she just got her son when she first saw the son's face, she was whooping ass because at that point she didn't know. I'm done with you. Get out.
Oh, you can say that now. Now you can say that.
Oh, that's an inside joke. I think those were even Flash's fight scene with Barry when they're working together to fight the Kryptonians. I thought that was a really good.
It was clever how they did it.
It was very clever, and it was cool seeing older Barry teach younger Barry.
Younger Barry. If anything annoyed me in this movie, it was young Barry.
He's 18, bro.
He was so irritating. Like, I think this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm separating Ezra Miller, the person, and Ezra Miller, the actor. And some people might be like, you can't do that. They're one and the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. His acting chops in this movie, like, he made me feel for Barry Allen with his mom.
Yeah.
He also irritated the hell out of me with the younger Barry Allen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, he needs to stop talking. He needs to just keep his mouth closed. But I think that was the point.
That was the point because he's
underage. He's 18. I mean, he was
not
acting.
Even that. It's that this Barry hasn't gone through trauma.
Yeah.
This Barry hasn't done.
Clearly, his mother does everything for him because his mother was still doing laundry. Another inside joke.
Oh, let's make that jokes. Don't worry, guys. I got it.
But no, let's talk a little bit about Supergirl. Because I was also excited about this Supergirl character.
Yeah, Clara L.
Yeah, I'm disappointed of how it ended, and I hope she can continue playing Supergirl in the future DCU. I think she had a meeting.
She should be Power Girl.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
So Superman. So there's, I guess, comic book context is, Clark Kent. His Kryptonian name is Kal-El.
Yeah, I know his Kryptonian.
And then Supergirl, or this version of Supergirl that we see, her name is Clara L. So she's his cousin. Her cousins.
I know that
family.
much.
We see that. We also see that brought up back in with Zod, where he's just like, "Where's Kal-El?" And he's.
I know all of that because of Smallville.
Yeah, and then but also in the movies, Zod talks about. He's like, "Oh, I killed him. Haha, funny baby. Guess I'm on the way there. I killed him," and she gets upset. But Clara L's her comic book debut isn't as Supergirl. She goes by Power Girl.
Is this the one with she has like white on?
Yeah.
Like her
when she has blonde hair.
Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. I don't think if they make her Power Girl, I don't know. I like her Supergirl.
I mean, I feel like they should give her a white version of the suit. I still like her suit.
But I like the suit.
Change it white.
Yeah, because it's not the typical
Kryptonian
skirt and
tights.
Yeah.
I did like the suit.
So I liked how they did the suit. I think it was.
It reminded me of a lot of Superman's suit of Injustice. His.
Yeah. Except it doesn't have the.
It doesn't have the collar.
The high collar.
Yeah, but very I guess geometrical. Look, and I actually like that suit.
I think she did such a good job.
She did a good job
for everything. As little screen time as she had. I think she did a good job. And like the emotion, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
The emotion that she portrayed when like Zod was like, Clark didn't make it. And,
I killed him. He's a baby.
And she was like, she got, that was really good.
She did. I think she did really good. And I agree with you. I want to see her in this new DCU. Talking about that, the ending, the surprise reveal.
Talking about Aquaman?
No, the other one.
Oh, George Clooney?
Yeah.
So that was weird. It was cool.
I thought it was funny how
I was like, but he's like my least favorite Batman.
But here, like I told you, we've seen George Clooney in this, right? We see Bruce Wayne. This man is old. This man is.
I know where you're going to because. That's the only reason.
That's the only reason what I'm hype about is that if we have an old Batman, that means we might be introduced to a Batman Beyond.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen for a couple of years because
I know it's in the future.
James Gunn has already like announced this next Superman movie and the next Batman movie and all this other stuff, and it's nothing related to Batman Beyond. At least not yet.
Not yet, but I mean, I was just thinking like narrative. Like that's an old Batman. Like this man's George Clooney is old. I don't think he's gonna put on. He's not gonna put on the cowl.
I would have preferred Michael Keaton to do that though, because I can see him. He has more of the demeanor to me than George Clooney, and Michael Keaton is just as old, or if not older, than George Clooney. So I can see him be old man Wayne, Bruce Wayne, training future Bruce Wayne or whatever. How Batman Beyond goes.
Terry McGinnis.
Isn't he technically a clone of Bruce Wayne?
No, he's his son.
Oh, he's his son's son.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know what sucks about that? Terry McGinnis is Bruce Wayne's son.
Like biological son.
Biological son, because Amanda Waller from Suicide Squad it's revealed in the Justice League animated series, and they kept that with the comics, is that back then she wasn't in charge of Suicide Squad. She was part of Alchemax. No, Alchemax. What is it? Their organization.
Right.
And so she says the world always needs a Batman. So she tries to create a new Batman. So as Batman got older, she took samples from him, from everywhere, from his blood, from fights, everything.
So he's genetically created.
Well, what she did was she rewrote a police officer's genetic DNA to be exactly Bruce Wayne's.
That's weird.
It's weird because, and then when you look at, you start looking at the dad, they don't look nothing like their dad. Like their dad has red hair and everything, and they don't. They have like black hair, like.
That's so odd. Comic books are weird.
And then you start seeing it as
who comes up with this stuff? Like who sits there and is like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do.
And so Terry does, because they originally were planning to kill Terry's parents to enforce that trauma that Bruce had.
Oh.
But then the lady who they hired.
That's evil, actually.
The lady who they hired was just like, well, that's a boy. I'm not gonna.
Manipulating people's lives and stuff.
She was like, I quit.
That's wild.
Because we see as Terry gets older, he does look like Bruce. Like he's like.
I've never really watched Batman Beyond. So that's like my younger
Everybody
brother.
should watch. That's an amazing show. I will fight on that hill. That's the best show. That's the best anime series. Best awards are hands down.
Anime or animated?
Animated DC.
Okay.
You can find me on that one. I'll throw hands, throw batarangs. Terry McGinnis, best Batman 2.
Anyway, back to the Flash movie.
So that's what gives me hype. But we also see that Aquaman.
That mid-credit scene was a waste of my time. Like it's cool to see him there.
He should
I don't understand what's going on with the DCU.
They should have kept him in the beginning with Wonder Woman, where he was just like, "Oh, I just got here, guys. Damn it!" Like,
right?
Because
I do like him as Aquaman, though.
No, I like him as Aquaman, but especially with what is that show called? What is that show called with John Cena?
Oh, Peacemaker.
How they show the Justice League at the end,
and they only show him.
Yeah, because they make fun of him.
Him and who else?
Flash.
Flash. Yeah.
They only make because they're making fun of him. He's like, I do not fuck fishes. Stop telling everybody I do that.
I've never seen Peacemaker, but I heard it was a really good show.
Peacemaker is a good show. I don't know if you like it because it's gory. It is.
I mean, if it's anything like James Gunn's Suicide Squad,
it is like that.
Yeah, I thought that movie was pretty funny.
It's like that, and then
dark humor,
very dark humor a lot. That makes me laugh. But yeah, the ending scene is just them to me like, stop telling everybody I fuck fish. It's not true. I don't do it, but you do.
I did see that online.
Yeah, so it's like they should have just did a scene like that because we're introduced to Wonder Woman at a gate, like, because they're falling off. Mm-hmm. They should have had Aquaman show up at the end, like, all right, guys, I just got here.
But I think they did it on purpose, though.
Yeah,
because,
but I mean,
I heard Gal Gadot. I don't know if this is true. I heard she's out as Wonder Woman.
I do believe so. She's out. Ben Affleck's out.
Ben Affleck is out as Batman. I really liked his Batman. I was one of the haters that when I heard them announce him as Batman, I was so upset. But he actually turned out to be.
I was probably my second because he was dating J-Lo.
You're so dumb. He was my second favorite Batman.
The only thing I didn't like
he did such a good job.
The only thing I didn't like.
It was like a different take.
Yeah, no, but I think it was a good take at the wrong time.
I can see that
because his Batman.
He should have had a solo film.
To introduce why he's much darker, why he's more like rugged, why he's like, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Like, I mean, they kind of hint at it,
But they they don't dive into
with
it.
Robin's costume and the Joker,
Like,
and
that should have been its own movie, or even afterwards. Like, even after Justice,
like a direct aftermath of that. That should have been his solo film. I agree. I'm disappointed that didn't happen, and we won't get it. But James Gunn has been killing it with Guardians of the Galaxy. Suicide Squad was really good. It's one of the
That's your mom.
few really good DC movies. So I have faith that he'll do something good. I hope he makes Superman.
Blue Beetle.
I'm not really interested in Blue Beetle. I don't anything with like bugs.
Really?
And like superpowers and bugs. Aside from Spider-Man.
You know why?
Because they're all Mexican.
No.
That's why.
That's right. Woo. PC Patrol.
It's your people. What you mean? Why wouldn't you like it? Because that's not.
That's not the only reason why I like it.
Why?
Because
it is a reason why.
It is a reason, but it isn't the biggest reason why. Because he looks like a Kamen Rider. He looks like a Showa era Kamen Rider.
See, I'm not really like into that. So.
Because you're a loser.
Okay, sure.
It takes 5 people to beat one guy. It only takes one rider.
Cool.
Okay. Need
anyway,
5 primary colors.
Final thoughts on The Flash. Didn't we say we were gonna come up with a rating system?
We still gotta figure it out.
I forgot what we had said.
Out of how many Speed Forces? We're gonna change it every time. It's gonna be different times. Out of how many timelines? How many times would you restart it? Out of 10 timelines, how many times would you restart it?
I don't get it. If it's a lot of restarts, does it mean it's bad? Or if the least amount of restarts?
I don't know.
Good?
I didn't think this one through.
You didn't.
I just want to reset the
okay.
timeline.
Out of 5 flash bolts, how many would you give this one?
I would give it 3 flashes out of 5 flashes.
I'd give it 3 Batman batarangs out of 5. I mean, it was entertaining.
5 Superman symbols of hope out of 5 Superman symbols of hope.
I go back and just say it was entertaining. I feel like it hit some emotional beats. Some of the acting in it was pretty good. The nostalgia factor with the Batman and the '89 music and all this other stuff that was great.
That music heard?
Yeah, but like all of that looked good.
Yeah.
Everything with Batman in it, '89 Batman, Michael Keaton Batman, all of that looked good. But the Flash stuff and some of that just looked, I don't know.
I feel like the Flash was one of the weakest points.
They used the volume. You know what the volume is, right?
Yeah.
What's the volume?
No, I don't know.
The volume is where they shoot a lot of the Mando stuff. And the huge room that's just all screens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they use the volume. I don't know if it's that exact same one.
Like they did for Thor: Love and Thunder?
Yeah, they use that, and it's just like, how can you mess that up? Mando just looks so good visually. Mm-hmm. And this is a TV show, you know what I'm saying? They uses a lot of CGI because it's all in outer space. And you can't make a blockbuster movie look at least as decent as freaking Mando. That's a TV show. I mean, I get it. Maybe the budgets is different, but
yeah. But even still, I mean, budget.
But it's also Disney too.
I was about to say Disney has more money.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I don't know. We'll see. I have spend that much money. I'm gonna.
I mean, am I excited for the next DCUs? I am. I'm not gonna say I have high hopes.
I agree.
But I am excited.
Before I was hardcore like Marvel, MCU, FDCU, and it's like because all of the DCU movies kind of sucked.
Yeah.
But I'm at a point where like, okay, I'm kind of burning out on MCU stuff. I need to see something different. I need to see something new. Give me more DC stuff. Now I'm kind of like, okay, I want to see it. Give me some.
So you're not gonna see Blue Beetle?
No, I don't want to see that. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. What about? I don't know, man. I'll go see it, but I'm gonna go in with really low expectations.
You know what? Also, I didn't like. They need to bring back that Dr. Fate from Black Adam.
So that's what I'm saying. They just stupid decision after stupid decision, but
Dr. Fate was amazing. Like the way he looked better than Black Adam.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah. I mean, when he got the golden armor, that looked pretty dope. When he got the little cape.
Yeah.
That was fire.
Shazam.
But changing gears real quick.
Yeah.
I kind of briefly mentioned this to you. Hot Toys.
Mm-hmm.
have released the Moon Knight figure. Have you seen the photos on the Facebook page?
Now that you mentioned, I just want it now. Like
It looks good.
I just want it to be like.
It looks good. It looks as good as, or I wouldn't say better, but it looks as good as the prototype. The cape is wired, so I was like, oh, nice. You can do some nice poses with it. I want it. I have it pre-ordered through Comic Concept, but I don't know when they're gonna get it. And part of me feels like because I really wanted that one.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me feels like canceling that. I'll lose my NRD and my discount.
Why would you do that though?
Because I just wanted that bad. Like, I really liked Moon Knight. I mean, the podcast is damn near named after.
I thought you meant like cancel it like entirely.
No, I want to cancel it entirely so then I can order it from somewhere
and to
else.
get it faster.
And to get it like this week.
When you said cancel, I mean like, oh, you're gonna cancel it for like.
Oh no, like because I don't want it. No,
yeah, that's
no,
what I was like. Why would you do that?
I'm gonna try my best just to wait.
Yeah.
Hold off because Sideshow probably won't get it for like another month or so.
Mm-hmm.
And since I think in the U.S. other retailers get their batches from Sideshow, so let's say Sideshow gets it in a month, they might not get it for another couple of weeks after Sideshow.
Yeah.
So, like, you'll probably have it, like, a full month before me. Mm-hmm. Maybe more. Because you ordered yours through Sideshow directly. But I really want that figure with the third-party Mr. Knight. The Gentle Moon, which is a funny name.
The Madafara Gentle Moon.
I need DC to announce Moon Knight Season 2.
You mean Marvel to announce?
Yeah, that's what I meant. I need Marvel to announce Moon Knight Season 2.
That's just Batman, but dark.
Yeah, that was their competition, right? That was their, like, answer to Batman?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, because it's the opposite.
Yeah.
White instead of black.
That's why he has more personalities. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Batman. Batman thinks he's Batman. He thinks that Bruce Wayne's the...
No, but look at when you get the chance, look at the figure.
Yeah.
It looks fire. It looks good. It looks good.
Because Moon Knight was amazing. Moon Knight, I mean...
I loved it. It's probably my favorite... Disney Plus series.
I have to agree with you on that one. I think it is my favorite Disney Plus series.
It was really good.
It was a good show.
It's just because Oscar Isaac killed it too, man.
That too.
With his acting and
with all three personas.
Yeah, I mean we only seen two for real. We saw a little bit of the third one, but
yeah, but the third one was pretty good. He was like, "Ya la acabaste, cabrón."
Yeah,
he shot him. I was like, "Yo."
But he has like a American name. What's that persona's name?
Jake Lockley.
Over here is threatening the dude in Spanish.
But I like it though.
Like the name doesn't match the.
I don't know. Because his name is Mark Spector. Yeah. And then Stephen Grant. Yeah. And then Stephen Grant's based off of one of the posters from one of his childhood movies. So who is Jake Lockley based off?
Oh, I get it. Okay, maybe. I don't know.
It might be someone he saw beat up people in his town. I don't know.
Oh, on TV, a movie or something? Uh-huh. Yeah, but it ended like there was going to be more.
No, it ends with not a cliffhanger, but it ends with, it doesn't end to say, like, it's not like the end period. It's like the end question mark.
Right.
Because like he's killed, I can't remember her name.
Arthur.
No, the goddess. I mean, yeah, because they're in the same body.
Well, we don't know because they don't show it.
No, they both die. Because they're sealed together. Remember?
I know they're sealed together, and you see him shoot.
Oh, that's true.
You see the muzzle flash from outside of the car. Yeah. He could have shot the side of the thing of the seat and threatened him and scared him. Like, we don't know what happened. That's what I mean? That's so I think it was one like Hawkeye was okay.
The limo has Spectre on it. The license plate says Spectre.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
You know what else I thought that was funny? Khonshu was so mad that he stole Stephen Grant's tuxedo.
Yeah. He wore the same one.
I was just like, damn, bro, you that petty?
Copied him. Sounds like somebody I know.
But that tuxedo is so good.
That's why I want that figure.
If they made a real one, I'd get one. I'd get one fitted and everything. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
All white, though?
But it's like with the gold hieroglyphics.
It would look nice in all black.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it would look fire in all black.
Because we've seen that before with, what's the other guy's name? There's another Moon Knight.
I mean, in the comics, we didn't see that in the TV show.
But we saw that. That's what I mean. I was just like, nah, it has to be white because it has that like that silver hieroglyphs all over the suit, and I think like that's a nice shine.
It looks good.
It looks nice.
I don't know. We'll see what they do.
We're
at 45 minutes. I think we're gonna end it there. One, because I have to use the restroom. Two, because it's cold AF in here.
You gotta use the little boy's room.
I gotta go number one.
You gotta go to the little, what's that called? The little. You gotta use the flashpoint. I don't know. I was trying to make something funny.
And we're ending it there. Thank you guys if you stayed and listened to the podcast. No intro music, no outro music, because we're using other means to record the podcast, so our setup isn't here. Hopefully, though, we'll have an all-new setup. We'll have better sound. And in the next podcast, hopefully we'll discuss Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and Transformers Rise of the Beast, because I thought both movies were pretty good. Both movies were better than Flash, I can tell you that.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it
was. I think Spider-Man obviously leaps and bounds better than Transformers. Transformers was good, but I would watch that again over.
I would too. I would actually want to watch Transformers again, just because it was that good. Yeah. I don't know about Spider-Verse because and this is just like,
I saw Spider-Verse again.
The only reason I wouldn't watch Spider-Verse again is because of the ending. Because then I want more. I want it now.
It's coming. I mean, when
we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in the next podcast. All right. Bye. Peace.